Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina. I'm so happy to have you. And if you're new, welcome. If you are returning, thank you for subscribing and coming back to watch my videos. I'm going to try and make this a regular thing and just do it more like podcast style where it's just relaxed and I'm just here to give tips and maybe I'll just start doing like a little day in the life to kind of show you what I use as far as nervous system regulation and just things that I feel have been really helpful in my healing journey. I'm continuing to make tons of progress. I am feeling so much better this last week, so I just see a continued progress with using the nervous system regulation in addition to brain retraining. So I'll get into details more on exactly what I do and just different tools and things. But today I wanted to just cover three things that I feel like I would have done differently a long time ago, and I think they're pretty simple and easy to understand. I'm not saying it's easy to get out of these behaviors, but once you can recognize them and that they're really not being helpful, and then the solutions that I give of things to do instead, I hope that it can really help with speeding up the process of healing and just feeling better overall, like mentally, and it can really help with just anxiety and depression that comes surrounding chronic illness. So I hope this is helpful to you guys, but I have them written down here, so if you see me looking down, I just wrote them down so I wouldn't forget exactly what I wanted to talk about today. And again, I want to make this really casual. I don't want to be like super formal all the time, and I may end up doing like a podcast version of these videos that I'm recording too, and then just put them on other platforms. So I hope it's helpful. I hope it's easy to follow along, and I really am excited to share this with you. So the first thing is to stop identifying with the illness. And what I mean by this is be very cognitive of the words that you're using and what you're telling yourself and how you actually feel about having this illness. So for one, if you're constantly calling yourself a moldy or a limey or a mold warrior or something, even if you have it like in your social media profile, like that's part of your bio, it's not helpful. Like, just trust me on this, it's not helpful. I am someone that is like very private. I didn't want anyone beginning to know that I was sick, and looking back, like I wish I had asked for more help, but I'm also kind of glad that I didn't really get deep into this identity of using phrases like calling myself that, even though I was kind of identifying as a sick person and things I was maybe saying to myself in my head. But whatever you speak out loud, your brain's going to believe it. It's going to manifest. So I would, by all means, tell anybody to stop saying, I have XYZ. Instead, say, I'm healing from blah, blah, blah. Like, don't take ownership of it. When you say, I have, you're focusing on what you don't want. Focus on what you do want, because what you want to have is health. So I know it can be frustrating, especially if people are constantly asking how you're doing. I mean, one solution to this is just tell people to stop asking. I mean, that's something that's recommended in brain retraining programs for a very good reason, because you just don't want it constantly being brought up all the time, because again, that's keeping you in this loop of being, a person that's known for their chronic illness, or that's become your whole life, or all you can think about, right? So it's really important to just start creating an identity that you want. And you can still use phrases like I'm healing. Like, you don't need to just completely lie or like be in denial. I'm not saying that either, but the solution to that is really just to focus on who you want to become, who you are becoming, and not what has happened to you, right? Because it's just an experience, a blip of a bad luck, bad whatever you want to call it, but it's just something that is going to be just a point in time in your life, but it doesn't have to be forever, and it's definitely something that you can heal from. So it's important to start focusing on that and not the identity that you currently are using. So that also goes along with another thing I want to mention as part of identity, and this could also be part of number 2, which is stop the fix-it behavior. And one of those things is to stop going on message boards. Like, please, by all means, the negative message boards and Facebook groups, just stay off of them. I mean, I got into a bad loop of looking on Reddit under like the gastritis and SIBO and all these boards related to GI symptoms, trying to figure out what I had. And yes, it's common. We probably all go through this phase, but the longer you do this, the more your symptoms are going to stick around, if not get worse, because people are going to put thoughts into your head. 99% of the ones I came across were just super negative, people complaining, people saying they're never going to heal, thinking their problem was constantly physical, just looking for that next magic pill or doctor or whatever, constantly looking outside themselves. But in order to heal from a chronic illness, you're going to heal yourself from within you. It's not going to come from anybody outside. Like, I'm not even here to say I'm a healer and I'm going to fix you. I'm here to just give you a guide and to give you tools that are helpful, but ultimately it's going to be your decision, and it's going to be when you can accept that the illness that you have is at the core an issue with nervous system regulation, limbic dysfunction, and that it's not purely just a physical problem. It's not something that a magic pill or a doctor or even an energy healer can necessarily heal. Those all might be helpful, all encompassing, you know, in the big picture, but ultimately at the end of the day, if you really want to truly heal, then you're going to have to put in the work for yourself, go within yourself, and stop looking on the outside. And that's going to include message boards and people who are on their own journeys, and that's fine. And, you know, they may one day wake up and realize, I hope, that, you know, it's not helpful to be stuck in the state of pessimism and on groups that are not going to encourage people to get better. And also, as far as the fix-it behavior, I'll link John Sarno's books below, but this is the main premises of his book, Healing Back Pain, and that's, there's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing to fix, right? There's nothing like structurally wrong, there's nothing, even though your test may show there's toxins in you or an infection or something, there's a reason why your body doesn't want to let it go and is holding on to it, because a normal healthy immune system would just be able to detox and you would get better. But unfortunately with chronic illness, it goes much deeper than that. And so once you can realize there's nothing to fix, there's nothing wrong with me, it's not denial, it's just saying that constantly being stuck, and you'll hear me use that word a lot, just stuck, feeling like I can't get better and that there is something horribly wrong with me, or I have this like virus in my body or an infection in my body, your brain is going to hold on to that, and it's going to think that. And what your body's trying to do is protect you. You know, in the autoimmune community, in chronic illness community, a lot of misinformation out there, I believe, about telling people that your body is attacking itself. No, I don't think that's what's happening. Your body is trying to protect itself. That's why your immune system is in overdrive. It's not because it's just turned on you, right? It's not this evil entity. Your body was made to heal itself. You've ever noticed if you get a cut, you know, on your skin, it turns into a wound and it scabs over and it heals and it eventually goes away. Well, that's amazing, right? That our bodies can do that. So why would whatever's inside of you not be able to do that? So you have to believe that in order to move forward in your journey. And I'm just 1,000% believer in this, and that my body's always working for me and always trying to get back into balance. And that's what it really wants. But I need to be the person that understands that and that is working not just physically, but mentally trying to get back into balance as well. And so if it's constantly feeling unsafe, it's going to go into overdrive, trying to protect me. All right, so moving on to number 3, and this is so important, is to stop being so hard on yourself, right? We can be our own worst critics, and also just stop feeling sorry for yourself. And we can also get into that victim mentality. So it's really important to focus on what you are doing right. You know, even if you can just take a 10-minute walk outside that day, or if you can't get out of bed, even if you can just maybe do a few little movements, you know, in bed, or turn on some music and just dance in your bed a little bit. anything to elevate your mood, and then be proud of yourself and give yourself a pat on the back and say, great for doing this today. Like, you know, I'm really proud of you that you were able to go out for a walk, even if it was just 10 minutes. Yes, you would like to be able to run or lift weights or, you know, eat at a restaurant you haven't had in a long time because of food sensitivities or whatever it is. But in the reality, when you do try little things and then give yourself some credit for it, it will really, really be helpful. And also, being a victim, not helpful. You know, and this kind of goes along with the message board too, is like there's just a lot of that victim mentality on there, like people just feeling sorry for themselves and complaining that they have XYZ. But that's not going to do anything for you. It never does. Like, no matter what in life, you can't stay in that victimhood. Yes, it sucks. Yes, you can just say, this was horrible that it happened to me, but to stay in that, like, why me, sort of like Tanya Harding BS, like, just cut it out, okay? Because at the end of the day, what's really important is what you do want, right? Not what you don't want. So if you can focus on healing, living a life that's full, and just being who you really want to be as a person, and not being stuck like, oh, I'm chronically ill, or I have this or that, it's really, really gonna not only help your body get back into balance, but it's going to drive you to want to do more. It's going to change your mentality to want to move forward, right? So I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, again, leave them below in the comment section. I have my email. You can email me too. I'm always happy to speak to any of you if you reach out. And I will try and make another video soon. And maybe I'll just start making little clips as well to kind of show you what I eat and what I do during the day to regulate my nervous system. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.